take it away, David.
I certainly will. Thank you, Maria. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I hope you enjoy the next hour. I'm going to be presenting to you reverse speech, explaining to you what it is. I'll be playing you lots of examples so you can hear what these reversals sound like. You will see the reverse speech software up on the screen, and this is what I will be using to play you reversals. I'll explain some of the functions of the software as we continue through the webinar. But I thought in order to get started, I might tell you how I got started in reverse speech. I've been doing reverse speech for 27 years now, and I was actually running a drop-in centre for street kids in Australia back in 1984. And there was an evangelist from the United States travelling through, and he was preaching that rock and roll was the devil's music. And if you take records and run them in reverse, you could hear extra hidden messages. Well, some of my kids at the drop-in centre were playing their records backwards and getting quite scared by what they heard, and they came to me and asked me what I thought about it. Well, I thought the whole thing was ridiculous, but I went home that night and rewired a tape player to play some songs in reverse, and much to my surprise, I heard what seemed to be some clear messages. And I'm going to play you one of these now. This is a song from Creedence Clearwater Revival. Let's just run this forwards first off. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. Alright, now I'm going to run this backwards for you at 2 different speeds and see if you can hear him singing I Believe in My Cool Woman. This is straight backwards. Here we go. And again.
Oh my God, that's amazing!
So there we go. There's a nice clear message on the backwards song, and I was quite surprised to hear that. I immediately checked for intentional manipulation. I thought, oh, maybe the soundtrack's been deliberately altered. And then I found one on Elvis Presley. Here, let's run this one forwards. It's now or never, my love won't wait. And here we have a very ominous backward message here. He sings in reverse, they know I'm sick. They know I'm sick. They know I'm sick. And of course Elvis Presley was very sick, as his untimely death showed, so a very ominous backward message to find on Elvis Presley.
I wasn't expecting Elvis Presley to make an appearance. That's fabulous. I just wanted to also say there will be a chance to ask questions. If you have any questions, please type the questions in, and I will do my best to get through them as quickly as I can and shove them in at the most appropriate time. Please continue, David. This is fascinating stuff.
Okay, so anyway, so there's two backward messages I found on music, and then a few weeks later, after I'd reversed a lot of my music collection, I accidentally stumbled across a phenomenon in normal human speech. And this is the first example I found on speech. This is Neil Armstrong walking on the moon. So let's run it forwards.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And you run this in reverse and see if you can hear him say, man will spacewalk. Here we go.
Never spacewalk.
And again.
Never.
So I was quite stunned to hear it in speech. I hadn't expected to hear it in human speech. And then I started running recording normal room conversations and running them in reverse, and finding these reversals everywhere. Here's one from a normal everyday room conversation.
This is just one of many, many lifetimes where we are here to develop the soul, basically. And when that is achieved, the soul will ascend.
So he's just chatting away, and he says in reverse, I love each day.
I love each day.
I love each day.
of each day.
And let's run the whole tape backwards, and you'll hear a little bit of gibberish, and then you'll hear the very clear phrase, I love each day, then back to gibberish once again.
الناس الواصل فيش يعني ما يلقي أبواصل of each day.
And you can hear that amongst the gibberish. Let's do that again.
يلقي أبواصل of each day.
And that's how reverse speech works. If you take speech and run it in reverse, about once every 30 seconds or so, you can hear a very clear phrase amongst the gibberish that I believe, well, based on 27 years of work, that is what people are thinking and feeling both on the conscious level as well as the unconscious level. You can tap into stray thoughts that people are having. Reverse speech will generally be related to the forward speech. There will often be this contextual relationship. Anyway, so after I'd researched this for 3 years, in 1987 I released my first book on reverse speech, which I called Beyond Backward Masking, Reverse Speech and the Voice of the Inner Mind. And in this book I presented my theory. And the theory basically states that the process of spoken communication is twofold. As all of us are speaking, we are creating our speech sounds in such a way that we are saying two messages at once. One forward from the conscious mind and the other one in reverse from the unconscious mind. This is a natural function of language. All of us, as we are speaking, are creating the sounds of our speech in such a way that we're saying two things at once, forwards as well as backwards. Let's give you another couple of simple examples. This is an American politician, Bob Dole, who's resigning from the Senate to run against Bill Clinton in 1996. So let's run it forwards and notice the passion in his voice as he is speaking.
You do not lay claim to the office you hold. It lays claim to you. Your obligation is to bring to it the gifts you can of labor and honesty, and then to depart with grace.
And he says in reverse, it's an honor.
It's an honor. It's an honor. It's an honor.
So there's a rare case of an honest politician.
That's just fabulous. I mean, it's really nice to actually hear something good in politics rather than, you know, what we all kind of believe to be they're telling us lies. Quite a lot of people believe that. Certainly when I've heard a few, I think I'm not sure. So that's really, really nice to hear that, you know, that, and also it can be detected as well. We've got some questions coming in now. That's really nice. One was from Sean. He wanted to hear examples of reverse speech in therapy. So we've done that. There'll be, I'm pretty sure there are going to be some more of that. So
yes.
Please continue. This is just great. I'm having a great time. I hope everybody else is. Thank you. Please carry on.
Good on you. I'm going to play this whole track backwards now, and you'll hear a little bit of gibberish, and then it's an honor. See if you can hear this.
It's an honor to be able to ask you to get those nervous and
And I'm sure you can hear the reversal right there amongst the gibberish there. And I wonder if you're following this on my software. Here's an interesting one from David Cameron in the last debate before the British general elections. Let's run this one forwards.
So we stop the jobs tax next year. That means saving one out of every £100 that the government spends.
And this reversal says, you rev it up now.
You rev it up now.
You rev it up now. You rev it up now.
So he's turning up the rhetoric. He's getting all ready. This is the final stretch, the last debate, and he's revving everything up. And you can see me playing it backwards. Watch this cursor going backwards now, and you'll hear the reversal amongst the gibberish. And yes, Sean, I will be getting to session work reversals as the webinar continues.